to Sakina at the Johannesburg Female Correctional Centre in Naturena. Sakina?
Well, thanks so much, Leanne, and welcome back. As you can see, we've now moved from those single cells housing some of the elderly inmates to a communal cell. And this is, of course, where most of the population would be housed within the facility. And we'll get into more bigger picture stuff after 7:40. But for now, we're still just getting into the experiences of some of the females who are incarcerated here at Johannesburg Correctional Centre. And I'm joined now by Connie van Nieuwkerk. And Connie, thanks so much for speaking to us. If you just lift that mic slightly for me. Thanks for allowing us to speak to you, just to get a sense of your story. So,
no problem.
How did you get here?
I was found guilty on a charge of fraud, and I've been sentenced for 10 years.
Talk to us about the fraud. What was it about?
It can be deemed as investment fraud. People were requested to invest in an entity, in a company, and funds were collected in terms of the investment, and the funds did not end up in the right place where it should have been, at the company itself.
So did you take those funds?
I did.
How much?
5.5 million rand.
That's a lot of money. And what did you do with it?
It's interesting. It was a lot of the money was used to put back into the company, and some of it was used for my own purposes.
And what was that moment? What made you decide to do that?
I think it's a place you find yourself in at that time, and your situation and your position and your financial circumstances at that point. And sometimes you don't have an option, and you choose the wrong option.
So was this your own company?
No, I was a consultant to a company. I'm a chartered accountant, so I was doing consulting to another company that I worked for.
And your family, when all of this was happening, were they aware, or was this a surprise to them?
They had no idea. They had no idea.
Were you married, children?
Separated, and I have no children, so I was living on my own.
And where are you originally from? Are you Johannesburg based?
Yes, from Alberton. I was born in Alberton.
So does your family come to visit you?
No, my mother is too old to travel, and my brother distanced himself from me after the crime, after my sentence.
So that must be difficult, being
Very
in
hard.
here and never having any visitors.
Very hard, very hard.
So what do you do to get by,
I have support from friends that have stood by me, which is good, and I'm very grateful for that.
So you were sentenced to 10 years
Correct.
imprisonment. So how much of that have you served?
A year, 1 year.
So it's still fairly new.
Yeah, it is.
And how's that year been? The routine, the circumstances, how's that been for you?
It's been okay. It takes time to get used to the integration. It takes time to get used to the circumstances, but it's hard. It's hard, but you have to forge ahead, and you have to do your best, and yeah.
And just in terms of the programs that are afforded, when we talk about, and if I can just have that water, please. There you go.
Thank you.
So you are a chartered accountant.
Correct.
So what do you do on a daily basis just to keep yourself going, but also in terms of programs that are offered?
We keep ourselves busy. We're allowed to read and to interact with other people. There's obviously a lot of programs that are put forward for us in terms of economic crimes, etc., etc. But what I'd like to do is in the not too distant future, hopefully, go to the section where I become a teacher for a lot of the ladies here who have not had the opportunity to finish school and haven't had the opportunity to reach certain goals in terms of their education. So my aim is to assist on that front.
You have just started serving your sentence.
Correct.
But I would imagine, you long to go back home. And, I would imagine you think about what that would be like.
Yes.
When ultimately you do get out. So what are your hopes? What are your thoughts in that regard?
I'd like to get through this experience, learning what I'm supposed to learn, feeling what I'm supposed to feel, feeling the remorse.
Are you remorseful?
Very much so, very much so. I feel deeply embarrassed almost at what has happened to me. But every day I look to religion and I pray. And I'm trying to make peace with the feelings of guilt as well. And one blames oneself. Which is what I...
Because you could have made different choices.
Correct, yes.
Do you still have some of that money? That 5 million rand?
I do.
So at least when you get out of here, there will be something to fall back on.
Correct.
And in terms of, you said you have your mother, so she doesn't come to visit, but do you have any sort of contact with her?
From time to time, yes. We are allowed to use a public call facility, and I can speak to her at least.
And what's that conversation like when you do speak to her?
She doesn't blame me at all. She prays for me every day. She wishes that she could come and see me, but unfortunately she's not mobile at all. But she's there for me. She doesn't judge. I never discussed any details with her, so she doesn't understand the details. But a mother is a mother, And
Well, Connie, thanks so much for sharing your story with us. That's Connie van Nieuwkerk, and she has served one of her 10-year sentence, and as you heard there, a fraud, and it's going to be a long road yet, but she hopes to be of service to her fellow inmates by at least getting into teaching, seeing that she is a chartered accountant by profession.